In this video we're going to take a look at the rules of indices that come up in the junior cert, and of course they come up in the leaving cert as well with a couple more. So the first three rules of indices. So let's take a look at this first rule, okay, the one in yellow. This states that when you have a number to the power of something, and when you're multiplying it by the same number to the power of something, what you really need to do, and this is all you need to do, is you get the two powers, whatever they are, and you add them. Okay, you actually add them. So even though it tells you it's asking you to multiply them in the question, what you really do is you add the powers. Add the powers together, and that'll give you your answer. So for example, this first one is done for us. A to the power of 2 multiplied by a to the power of 3. What we really do there is we add those two powers. We add the 2 and the 3 together. So that's what's going on there. 2 plus 3. And when you do that, you get a to the power of 5. And that's the answer. So there's about 4 more for you to try now. There's part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. So you can pause the video now and try those questions, and then press play when you're finished and see how you got on. Don't forget, what you have to do is add the powers, and that'll give you your answer. Okay, pause the video now and see how you do. Okay, I hope you paused it and have you now tried them, and I'm going to play it on now and see what answers you get for each one. So for the second part here, this part here, it's going to be 3 plus 4, so the answer is a to the power of 7. For the third one here, we've got 8 is the first power, and we have to add that to 2. So our answer is going to be a to the power of 10. For the fourth one, it's going to be a to the power of 9 plus 3, which is a to the power of 12. Now you don't need these boxes. I just put these boxes in here to help you do them, but you don't need to do them when you're doing these questions. A to the power of 6 multiplied by a to the power of 2 means a to the power of 6 plus 2, which means a to the power of 8. So there's the answers for those 4 questions that you had to do. I hope you did them okay. And now let's move on to the second rule of indices. So that was the first rule, that when you're multiplying, you're really adding. The second rule is this blue one here. It involves when you're dividing. Okay? So if you have a number to the power of something, and it's being divided, that's what that line there means, by the same number to the power of something. In order to get your answer, you need to minus the powers. So the top power minus the bottom power, always. So take this part I as an example. A to the power of 10 is being divided by a to the power of 6. To get my answer, all I need to do is write a once. I don't need to write it twice anymore. And get my top power and take it away from the bottom power. And when I do that, I get a to the power of 4. That's my answer. So the top power minus the bottom power. That's the rule. That's what was going on here. That's how you get your answer. So there's a few of these for you to try. 4 questions again, just like previously. We're talking about these questions now. I'm going to put into this black box here. Okay, zoom in a bit closer. So you can pause the video now, try part 2, part 3, part 4 and part 5 and see how you get on. And then play on and see if you got them right. Okay? Okay, I'm going to keep going. I hope you tried them and you did them okay. Let's see how you got on. So part 2 here, I have to get the top power and I have to take away the bottom power. So I'm going to say 5 minus 2. So my answer will be a to the power of 3. Part 3. It's going to be a to the power of 8 minus 2. Remember, top power minus the bottom power. And when you do that, you get a to the power of 6. Part 4. It's a to the power of 6 divided by a to the power of 3, which means a to the power of 6 minus 3, which means my answer is a to the power of 3. And then this part, part 5, a to the power of 3. Now this is a tricky one. I didn't tell you how to do this one. A to the power of 3, right, divided by a to the power of, and there's nothing there. There's no power. Now here's something you need to remember. If there's no power, you should write in 1. Okay, because there always is a power. If you can't see it, it means it's a 1. So that means when we're doing our answer, it's going to be a to the power of 3 minus 1. So our answer is actually a to the power of 2. Now, I don't think it's too bad if you got that one wrong, because I didn't actually mention how to do that one. That was a little trick so to help you remember. So don't forget, if there's no power written, it means there's a 1 as a power. You just need to remember that. Okay, the last rule of indices, the green one here. This states that if you have a number, let's say it's a, to the power of something, and then there's a set of brackets, and outside the brackets there's another power. What you need to do is multiply the powers. Okay, that's the rule. You multiply the powers if it looks like this. So the first one here, let's do an example. A to the power of 6, and then you see the brackets, and then outside the brackets you have another number, another power. What do I have to do? I've got to multiply the two powers. I've got to multiply the 6 by the 3. That's where that comes from, 6 and 3. And when I do that, I get a to the power of 18. So I multiply the powers. Now here's 4 of them to try. Let's see. Keep that example visible. So you can pause the video now and try and do those 4 questions. Part 2, Part 3, Part 4 and Part 5. And just be careful down at the very last one. The power is minus 3. So that still means that when you're doing it, your power will be 2 multiplied by minus 3. You always multiply the powers when they're sitting outside between brackets. Okay, try those, and then when you're finished, play the video on and see how you do. Okay, I'm going to keep going. The first question I asked you to do was part 2. And it says a to the power of 2, and then outside the brackets you had a power of 3. So I've got to multiply those two powers. So 2 multiplied by 3, it would give me a to the power of 6. Second one I asked you to do is part 3. A to the power of 2, and then outside the brackets, power of 7. So it's going to be a to the power of 2 multiplied by 7, which gives me a to the power of 14. Remember now how to write these answers. So let's this one, for example. I don't say this, a 14. The 14 is a power, so it has to be up here and way smaller than the letter. Power is always up on the top right hand corner. So let's say there's the line of your copy. The power is going to be up there, small. Okay, the part 4. A to the power of 10, and then outside the brackets is an 8. So I've got to multiply those two numbers. So I'll have a to the power of 10 times 8. And my answer then will be a to the power of 80. And then the last one, the one that I told you to be just a little bit careful of, it's a to the power of 2 and then outside power of minus 3. So then it's going to be a to the power of 2 multiplied by minus 3, which will give me a to the power of minus 6. And that's the answer to the last one. Okay, I hope you did okay there. I hope that video helps a little bit. Bye-bye.